Today I'm going to challenge everybody to speak up and make their voices heard. For many people, being in a business meeting, being in a business setting with an important meeting makes them very anxious and they feel intimidated. They know they want to contribute. They know they have the knowledge, the abilities, all the things that go with to being part of this team, but they're fearful of actually making their voice heard. Now, why does this even matter? It matters because leaders are not always the smartest people in a room. Leaders are those who are able to convey, communicate their thoughts, their opinions, their knowledge, both confidently and clearly. So it's very important when we walk into those important meetings that we have the tools, the tips, and the techniques that are going to empower us to speak up and make sure our voice is heard. Stick with me and I'm going to explain exactly how we're going to do this.
All eyes on me.
Hi, I'm Jane and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for everybody who's joined the community, and if you are serious about working on your speaking skills, please click subscribe and like, and we're all going to learn together. Let's get back to those meetings. We know we have a big important meeting coming up. There'll be leadership in the room, there'll be senior people in the room, and we really want to stand out and make sure we contribute in a way that is effective. So the first thing we have to do is we need to prepare way before the meeting happens. So the moment you get the agenda or the email outlining what's going to be discussed, familiarize yourself. Take a look at it and become familiar with what the topics are that are going to be discussed. So say, for example, you see there's going to be talking about the ABC team or the 123 project, right? Do a bit of reading, find out a bit more, maybe speak to people as to what this is all about. All you need is a working knowledge of these two areas to feel like, okay, I've now got an idea of what we're going to be talking about. That's the first thing. The second thing is, if you come across any jargon or any form of acronym that you are not familiar with, I urge you to go and figure it out. It is so anxious making and intimidating to be in a meeting and somebody's asking you something that includes the use of an acronym or two and you don't know what that acronym is, well then you're not really going to be able to answer them effectively. So anything you're unfamiliar with, make it familiar to you. So now we've got a working knowledge of the agenda. The next thing you're going to do is try to anticipate where the discussion may go. Now, this might sound obscure, but it's not really that complicated. If you know they're going to be talking about the ABC team, I guarantee you'll probably be able to say, I wonder if it's going to be about resourcing. Is it going to be about reductions? Is it going to be about staffing up? Whatever it is, make yourself think a little bit about what they could be covering with ABC team or 123 project, right? Because we're trying to think ahead. We don't want to be caught off guard. We're trying to almost role play in our minds what we think they might be talking about. Even if it doesn't go in that direction, by simply doing the homework, doing the prep, you'll walk in there with your confidence a lot higher. It won't feel completely unfamiliar. The next thing you're going to do, and this might sound a little odd, is you're going to prepare some questions. You've done a bit of reading, you've gained some knowledge, prepare some questions, right? Whether it's your area of control or not, try to anticipate what questions are going to be thrown around, and then you prepare your own questions. Now, why would you do this? When you prepare the question, you'll logically form an answer in your head. That's what we do. So if you're saying, well, why are they expanding the ABC team? Your question is, why are they expanding the ABC team? Anticipate what the answer might be. Well, we need more people or whatever it is. It is unlikely in the meeting that anybody is going to ask you one of the questions you prepared yourself. But what it does is it gives you a foundation from which you already practiced a response. So should a question come your way, You've already role-played it a little bit. You've already thought it through. So your answer that you prepared for the question you made up, that answer you could probably tweak it a little bit. Now you've got a nice answer, response to give back to the person who asked you the question. Again, it is just that preparation, putting yourself in a position where you feel, I've got this, I know this, I'm not getting caught off guard. That confidence will set you apart from the people around you. Now we need to move into the meeting itself. Once you're in the meeting, I urge you to set a goal for yourself. And the goal is to speak up, literally make your voice heard within a certain period of time. So if it's an hour-long meeting, walk in there and say to yourself, within 10 minutes, I'm going to have spoken up. Half an hour meeting, within 5 minutes, I'm going to have spoken up. Whatever works for you. The reason we do this is often I've found with people, they will get into a meeting, they're fully prepared, they know they're going to contribute, they're really desperate to have their voice heard and stand out from the crowd, but they get in the meeting, they become intimidated, the moment passes, they're back at their desk, and then they think, oh, why didn't I speak up? Okay, so that's why you need to set yourself the challenge. You need to set yourself a goal. So the meeting starts, it's an hour-long meeting, you've set to yourself, you are going to speak up within the first 10 minutes. Now you know what you're working towards. If we don't have a goal, we don't know when we've achieved it. So now we've got our 10-minute goal, right? But what are we going to say? It's a general discussion. It's at a much higher level. Other people are talking. You haven't been called upon yet. What does Jane mean when she says, speak up? What I mean is simply acknowledge something that somebody else has said. Agree with them. Back them up. You can piggyback on other people's discussion, answers, responses, and make your voice heard by simple little sentences and phrases like, oh yes, I agree with Tamara. Right? That's all it has to be. You don't have to go into a whole long discussion. You can just say, yes, I agree with Tamara. Or you can say, oh, that's absolutely right because my team doesn't need that either. Or, yes, it does make sense if we only start in 2 months' time. Right? So these aren't major pearls of wisdom that you're offering up. It's not going to be demanding. It's not going to make you feel anxious or intimidated because you're simply acknowledging what someone else has said. But that is the trick that gets your brain thinking, they can do this. They can speak up in meetings. They are confident. So you keep going and take your breath, lower your shoulders, keep your chin up, all the things we discuss in all my videos. And then you just piggyback on somebody else. If you feel a bit more confident, you can acknowledge and then elaborate a little bit. No, my team also, we're not ready in 2 months' time. However, we could probably consider that in about 3.5 to 4, right? So now you're building a little bit up. This is how you make your voice heard in meetings. There is no point attending meetings with a goal to get into a leadership position if you keep quiet and you just blend in with the wallpaper, because no one is memorable when they do that. And remember, everybody's voice is worthy of being heard. Your voice is worthy of being heard. You want to contribute. So the way you have to do it is small steps to get out the gate. I guarantee you put these things together and they work. My last little tip for in the meeting is, if appropriate, take notes. Notes are such a brilliant way to keep yourself up and included in a meeting, because as people are speaking, just make your notes as you go along. First of all, it'll focus your attention. By writing down what you hear, it'll help you remain attentive to the speaker, and it'll clarify your thoughts as you put them down, because you'll write down, you're not going to write in verbatim, you write down key elements. So it helps you keep focused and in the moment. Then the little added benefit with this is that when questions come your way or you are pulled into the discussion, you've got those notes to refer to. So instead of saying, oh, yes, no, I do think that maybe we should 2 months, did we say 2 months? Did we say 4 months? No, you look down at your notes and you say, take your breath. Yes, we were discussing 2 months, but as I said to Tamara, we'll only be ready in 4, right? It'll keep you on track. It's another element to ground yourself and to give you that confidence that you are participating and contributing. All of these things work. Your homework is simple. I've recommended it before. It's what I call the daily chats, and that's where you go a little bit out of your comfort zone to have a 1 or 2 sentence back and forth exchange with people who are in a low stress situation. So when you pick up your coffee, don't just say thank you. While you're waiting, you can say, wow, it's really busy here this morning, right? The person serving you, all they need to say is, yes, it's busy. But you have stretched yourself to start a conversation, to have a little bit of input with that person. The receptionist at the doctor's office, the mechanic working on your car, your neighbor across the fence. Challenge yourself. Challenge yourself to add in more than just those, hi, goodbye, nice weather. Go a little bit further. Remember, you're practicing making your voice heard. I guarantee all these things work. Please comment below if you're doing any of these things or if you need more guidance on something. Like, subscribe, share if you think there's anybody who would benefit from this. And as always, thank you for your time, and I'll see you next week.
All eyes on me.